giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Yeah. Good morning, good people. Happy Friday, and welcome to A to Z Sports Live, brought to you by Boston Scientific. Y'all know we on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Steele. Boom! You know, the least they could do after yesterday was give me a goddamn hoodie. Hey, man. Y'all know I'm going to talk about this, right? I am once again asking the Dallas Cowboys to spin the block on this player. It's not even, it shouldn't even be a discussion, but we're going to discuss it. And if you agree or disagree, please feel free to call in 351-999-3787 on the hotline. A couple of veteran players have been released over the last few days, and we'll discuss a handful of them. And today is Friday, the last show before the break. So it's a bit of a roll out the TV kind of day, bit of a Fan Friday, Freestyle Friday, whatever. So you can call in, holla at your boy, 351-999-3787. Talk about today's topic. Talk about whatever you want. Good morning, Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Yeah, man, they gave us some Hattie B's, hoodies and T-shirts and whatnot. And like I said, it's the least they could do after yesterday, man. That was rough. That was rough. Hearing them, hurt the chickens in the background as they prepare that fresh, tenderized chicken for you at Hattie B's. But nah, this is a really good hoodie, man. Y'all should go down there. And we'll be actually posted up in front of their merchandise area next time. But that's neither here nor there. What's good with y'all? I see we got a caller on the line already. Hold tight. Let me get through the first part of today's show, which, again, this isn't going to be long. I'm telling you right now, we're going to talk about these veterans. I'm going to holler at y'all, and we're going to get this little break started, get the packing going, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the future. King said they clucked up yesterday. Y'all kept me going because I was pissed. I ain't going to hold you. I was a little upset. But it is what it is, man. All right, let's hit the roundup, which really ain't much of a roundup. It's today's show, so let's do it.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
Time.
It's time!
Time?
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it! Hey, oh, they do it!
Oh, yeah. If y'all thought I was about to come on here and not talk about my guy, Bobby Wagner, you were wrong. You were wrong. The Rams and 9-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner, according to Adam Schefter, according to everybody, but this is his tweet, mutually agreed to part ways yesterday. He says Rams need more cap space and Wagner wants to win. He will now be a notable part of this year's free agent class. Now, I'd imagine Wagner probably sees what's about to happen over there in L.A., right? Sean McVay is, from the sounds of it, he going through it from a mental thing here. I guess football is kind of getting to him. It seems like maybe Ramsey could be on the move. They got their Super Bowl ring. I don't think they're really pressed anymore, right? So I think Wagner might be like, listen, man, didn't go good last year. Wish you guys the best. But let me go try to win. Hey, you come to Dallas, Bobby. You can come to Dallas. And remember, the Cowboys, I guess, attempted. I don't know. What do you want to call it? An attempt. But it was an obvious fit last season. Dan Quinn being the coordinator, obviously Bobby Wagner and Dan Quinn have that relationship. And remember, this wasn't some fake interest. It was real interest. And he said this, I believe, on not the Dan Patrick show, but the Rich Eisen show, or he spoke with somebody. Maybe it wasn't the Rich Eisen show. Maybe he just sat down with somebody. And this is what Bobby Wagner had to say last year. Quote, Wagner also said he had a real flirtation with the Cowboys. Quote, that was a real thing. We had conversations. I love Dan Quinn and have a lot of respect for him. But between their needs and what they were willing to spend, we couldn't agree.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Well, that's where the holdup, I think, could potentially happen again. But we're going to have fun with it today. We're going to assume that there will be some more flirtation with the Cowboys and Dan Quinn. And I'm going to talk about why it needs to happen, god dang it. Because he's a 9-time All-Pro that still got it. There was a group of people, and if you are one of those people in here, please let me know. But there was a group of people on Twitter under somebody, I think it was Tom Downey's tweet, where somebody said LVE is better. And see, it's those type of people that I think their minds are warped by one Stephen Jones. I mean,
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
how can you? Let's take a look at the linebacker room real quick. First of all, the obvious need at the linebacker position is there. We'll spin the block back on this. You really only have Damone Clark, Jabril Cox, not even Luke Gifford. Damone Clark, Jabril Cox, and Devin Harper at linebacker. Michael Parsons is a pass rusher. I don't think Michael Parsons is going to go back to being full-time linebacker or majority linebacker. I think they should mix him up, but I don't think he's going to be the middle linebacker. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen, at least with Dan Quinn. So the conversations we were having was about bringing back LVE because of, obviously, we think it's going to be cheap and we didn't think the Cowboys were going to spend money or whatever. But when a guy like Bobby Wagner enters the equation, this isn't just some run-of-the-mill veteran. This is a guy who was a veteran and then played like an all-pro last year at the age of 31, 32, whatever he is. Because y'all know me. I'm not for going out and get a 33, 34-year-old dude, but if he an all-pro, let's do it. You're only going to keep him for a year or two anyway. But do not get it twisted. I said this the other day. Leighton Vander Esch had a solid year based off of the expectations and standards that were lowered. Let's not act like this dude was a Pro Bowler. He was good. He was good for the Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't have a lot there at the linebacker position. His value showed when he was not there. But I forget who it was in the chat that said Leighton Vander Esch had a bounce back year, but not a bring back year. Bobby Wagner, though, continued to show you why he's that dude. Again, made a 9th consecutive All-Pro. Played in over 1,000 snaps. There were people that questioned what Bobby Wagner had left in the tank. I think he proved those people wrong. Over 100 or 140 tackles, 50 stops, 10 tackles for loss, 6 sacks on top of that, 2 interceptions. And his average, well, Sky, tackles don't matter. You're right. You know how I feel about it, right? But his average depth per tackle was 2.8 yards. Once again, LVE 6.5. Bobby Wagner 2.8. His missed tackle percentage was by far the best in the National Football League, bar none, for guys who had over 400 snaps against the rush. And it was 2.4%, which equated to 2 missed tackles on the season. And maybe the most important thing here, I mean, it should be a no-brainer when it comes to LVE, but you can count on him to be there. He's now had 8 straight seasons where he's played at least 15 games. You don't question if Bobby Wagner is going to be available. You don't question if he can lead this defense. You don't question if he can play at a high level and be an impact playmaker. You don't question these things. And for those who want to keep Micah in that kind of off-ball role or defensive lineman or defense end role or roam type of linebacker, Bobby Wagner helps you do that. I mean, what better veteran to have in that room than Bobby Wagner for Damone Clark, for Micah Parsons, for Jabril Cox, for Devin Harper? What better guy? I shouldn't have to sell y'all on this, but if you are not sold, I would love to have the discussion of why you think Bobby Wagner wouldn't be a welcome addition here. This is an easy one. We'll talk about a few others in a little bit, but this one to me, it's a no-brainer, man. No-brainer. Towboat Ty drop one.
Super chat.
Said you must be smoking that good if you think LVE is better than Bobby. Good luck with the Moose Guy. My mornings are going to be so boring without the squad. Appreciate you, Towboat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what those people were talking about. Now, if you're talking about what the money look like, I think you can get him for pretty much what you got him last year, like a 2-year deal worth about $10 million per. I don't think he's going to break the bank. And Lamitra drop on. We will get to that. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to super chats yesterday, so I'm gonna run through those as well at some point throughout the show. Oh, Professor O, that's another one I like. See, we're about to start seeing these veterans kind of get the axe, right? And I know a lot of people, they look at veterans and they kind of scoff. I mean, obviously, you don't want to sign 10 veterans, a whole bunch of 30-year-olds, but I do think you need to have a good mix. We were one of the younger teams for the last, 2-3 seasons. I think you need to bring in some guys with some championship pedigree like a Bobby. Well, we talked about this before, right? Talked about this before. But this one here feels like a no-brainer, Cowboys Nation. Would you guys do it and make it a little bit tougher? If you are going to do it, what would that look like for you? Were you talking about a 5-year deal? Talking about 1 year? You talking about 2-3 year? What would that look like for you? We don't watch them 304s. What does that look like for you, Chris?
Well, you want to know what? When it comes to Bobby Wagner, I would definitely not be mad if they picked up Bobby Wagner. Here's the thing, though. I would prefer Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo because I think you're probably going to pay them yearly average per year.
Well, the question ain't who we prefer. You know, the question ain't who we prefer because Tremaine Edmonds is way younger. You probably keep him for 5 years type of situation. You know, I mean, obviously, you probably want the younger guy who is still trending up as opposed to the guy on the back end of his career, right?
Oh, definitely.
I think that's pretty obvious. But we're just saying, just the Bobby Wagner discussion is where I'm trying to stay at here.
Oh, then I'm going to jail if we sign Bobby Wagner.
Right on.
I mean, you're talking about, one of the best linebackers that I've ever seen play. I mean, granted, I'm only 26 years old, so I haven't seen as many linebackers as you since you're 45. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Bobby Wagner is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's still playing like it. Like that. And again, he ain't 2012 Bobby Wagner, but he's still one of the best linebackers in the National Football League, and he's a playmaker. And I think he solidified this defense in the middle. We talk about being better against the run. He still had 5 pass breakups. The leader. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about Bobby Wagner, man.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, it would be a great addition to this team. Hey, so I wanted to talk about since they're talking about getting rid of Tyron Smith, I think that the best way to go about this. I know there's a discussion between a lot of the fans whether Tyler Smith should play guard or tackle, and I think he should play guard. And here's the reason why.
Oh, Tyler!
You look at some of the defensive lines in this division. You'll get Washington's defensive line, especially if they re-sign Payne. You'll get Philadelphia's defensive line with Williams and Davis, and then you'll get the Giants' defensive line with Lawrence and Williams. I would prefer Tyler Smith to be on the interior instead of going and getting a rookie. Now, if we go get Shaq Mason, that's completely different. I can roll with that, but I would prefer him on the interior instead of like a day 2 rookie. I don't know if you agree with that. Do you agree?
I think it all depends on what they elect to do over there. I've come around to I'm fine with whatever they decide with Tyler. I think he's given me enough confidence that he can perform at either position. And tackle is an extremely important position. So if he's your stalwart tackle for a decade, I'm not going to complain about that at all. And I feel like a guard is a little bit easier to plug inside if they elect to keep him at tackle, whereas the opposite would be a bit tougher unless they get a veteran, which stick around. Stick around. So, I mean, whatever they decide to do, I'm not going to complain about it unless it's like they bring in a Mackenzie Bernadou. Y'all remember him? If they bring in a Kyle Kozier, if they bring in a Phil Costa type to play guard, then yeah, I'll have a problem with that. But if they bring in a second round guy, if they bring in a proven, really good veteran and decide to keep Tyler at tackle, I'm all for it. I'm down. But if they bring in a first round tackle or a solid veteran tackle and they move Tyler inside, I'm down. It's going to be really hard to mess this up. If they mess this up, they drop the ball on what I don't think is a difficult situation here. I think they got a great situation on their hands with Tyler Smith.
Yeah, because, like, I look at the whole situation. Like, I want our offensive line to be dominant again because I want to go into these games and say I'm not worried about San Francisco's run defense. Why? Because we have a great offensive line, just like Philadelphia did this year. And I look at, like, the situation with the guards in this draft. Like, there's Osiris who's, he's got the traits. He might not have the film at the current moment to really warrant a first-round pick. And then there's guys like John Michael Schmitz and Steve Avila. Like, I wouldn't even be opposed to the Cowboys trading back and getting more assets to go draft one of those guys.
Well, man, at 26, you got to be wiped completely out to trade back. But we'll see, man. I feel like somebody's going to be there. That's fine. I don't like the idea of trading back unless I'm picking up another first round pick for next year. If I'm at the bottom, I'm already at the bottom, right? So I might as well get the best of the end of the first round guys, unless you're going to give me a nice haul. I don't really want to trade back, but that's just me. But again, that could change, once we get to 24 and we're like, there's a ton of dudes here. Let's move back, pick up a second round pick. I don't know, but it's too early. It's February to be talking about trading back.
Yeah, and that's why you and Voch had a really good point the other day when you were talking about, like, because one thing that this fan base kind of forgets is that free agency is a thing. Like, we can add players through free agency who could have a really good impact on this team. If we go pick up, a wide receiver, a cornerback, and then, an offensive lineman, like Voch said, we can go into this draft and just draft best player available, and I'm all for that.
Well, that's what they're going to sell to us. That's what I was telling Voch, right? They're going to do that. They're going to go pick up these lower level guys and tell you, hey, we plugged our holes, now we can go BPA. What me and Voch are trying to say is stop just putting bubble gum on the hull of a sinking ship, right? Go solidify, go get dudes. That way, when you go into the draft, you like, all right, cool, we take a BJ. He ain't gonna be there, but you can take the bet. Like, if you really want BPA, we can take the best player available. We don't care what position it is because we've upgraded our team in free agency, not just added depth guys or added bottom of the roster type dudes that we don't even know if it's going to make the team. So they got to change their philosophy in free agency, but put it on a loop.
Yeah, definitely. Well, all right, well, yo, enjoy your vacation, my guy.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, Reek,
I
didn't get a chance to get with you yesterday. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? I mean, damn, I'll call you Russ. Yeah. What's going on, Sky?
What's good?
Yeah, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? Like my man said, before I start this, I want a campaign for once again for my exit meeting roundtable.
Yeah,
I know you guys going on vacation. We need to set this off, man, because I think some things in Cowboy Nation that needs to be talked about between you guys, and I like to know all you guys' opinions about the end of the year and the beginning of this new year. Yeah, man. If Bobby Wagner's out there, and we can make some other moves on that defensive line, why not get them? And if we getting rid of tyrants, and if it's another pretty good veteran for the offensive line, one or two, let's go get those guys too. You know what I mean? Let's mix it up a little bit this year because we're not that far away. Because I do want to go into this draft as best player available at the 26th pick. I think that'll be better for us. And then Mike and Dan Quinn to be able to get some of the guys that they want to get. And I'm pretty sure I'm got more confidence in how we draft than anything. But we need to get better in the free agency market and trading, learning how to trade better too, even in the season. That's all I want to see.
Nah, for
Just
sure.
improve the team, man. But other than that, Scott, I don't have nothing else, man. Enjoy your vacation, like my man said before.
Appreciate you, big dog. Have a good weekend. Yeah, man. Like they have a chance to run this back. And Weibo, I gotta 100% disagree with this one here, man. You said he's the next Anthony Barr. Weibo, come on, man. I urge you to go watch Bobby Wagner. Forget the stats, because a lot of people don't like stats, because they be like, oh well, you could skew the numbers. All right, well go watch him play. Here's one of the few bright spots on a Rams failed season. And I don't think this is remotely close to an Anthony Barr who was a hurt guy and we was hoping could find his old self. Bobby is still doing Bobby things, so I don't think this is the same thing, man. I would love to have him though. KHY. 803, what up, though?
What's going on, man?
What's good with you?
Not much. I just wanted to make it real quick, but Jerry, well, specifically Steven, will be a fool to pass up on this twice.
Twice, right?
Like, the football guys are sitting this in his lap. It's like, just take it. Like, the opportunity's there, but you know how it works. But would a deal like for a Bobby Wagner, would giving him like a fully guaranteed, like a short term, like 2-year, $16 million, $8 million per, but make that $16 million fully guaranteed? Would that make it possible to bring him in or something like that? Like,
I ain't gonna research it.
If they don't spend a whole bunch, just guarantee everything.
I mean, sound good to me. I don't have the exact numbers like we did last year when he got signed to the Rams. We broke down the entire contract. But you're saying like straight up 16, 18 million type guarantee. I mean, that sound good to me. I mean, I don't want to tell you yes emphatically and it looks stupid because if you look at the market or what have you. But he got 10 this year. I guess the question would be, is he looking to go up, right? Like if he's looking to go into that $15 million range, well, you can just forget about that, right? But if he's looking to kind of stay in that same area or even slightly below because he's getting older, and you do it for a short period of time, like that's the thing, man. I don't think you got to sign Bobby Wagner to a 5-year deal. You're talking about we just need you for 2 years. Let's try this for 2 years. It's not going to hurt your cap. You know what I mean? You're not going to get in cap hell for signing Bobby Wagner for 2 years on a guaranteed, $16 to $20 million deal. So I'm with you. I like it.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to just throw that out there with a fully guaranteed contract, get the deal done. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go get the rest of your college, man. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, man. I like it. I like the idea of the. I know a lot of quarterbacks are doing that, the fully guaranteed. Linebacker, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, right? But 10 million per is what it was last year. I think right at that line is about fair. I don't know if going above that is going to be a thing for Dallas. Hell, going at 10 million might not be a thing here in Dallas, but I'm good with it. Big Sar said 10 million per for Bobby is going outside of Stevens' pie range. That is true. That is true, but again, maybe we are in a little la-la land here. We're just trying to talk about like what the possibilities. Like what if they were willing to go left one time, I think this would be a good time to do it. Tyrone said he got a feeling that Cowboys going to make a trade. You talking about like a receiver? If they make a trade, I think it'd be for a receiver. Weeble, so your comparison is so you're saying what you're saying is everyone was excited about Barr and he was not good last year. I don't know that I would use the word excited. I wouldn't use the word excited. I would say it was something that was needed. But But that's tough to say because Barr was kind of on his last leg in the sense he was a hurt guy for a number of years. We broke Barr down all the way. I think excited might be a bit hyperbole. I think it was something like, all right, we got some depth, but I don't know anybody that expected Barr to come in here and perform like a Bobby Wagner type, like his former Pro Bowl self. We just needed him to kind of help solidify that middle. But if you're comparing it to that, I think if Bobby got signed, I think you should be excited and you should expect an exciting year from him because he's better than Anthony Barr. It's always been better than Anthony Barr. So I still don't see the comparison. I just don't see the comparison. Yeah, Weibo. I would keep them on the bench for Bobby Wagner. Like, that's the thing. We're not talking about LVE. We're not talking about Anthony Barr. We're talking about this man. This man. Yeah, I'm going to keep Jabril Cox on the bench for this guy. Yep, absolutely. I'm gonna keep Devin Harper on the bench for this guy. Yep, and I will plug Damone Clark next to Bobby and watch Damone Clark prosper. Yep. Not a single soul in this linebacker room. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on Bobby Wagner for this guy. Not one. We're getting a bit too attached here. Just a little bit. Set it off, Chris. What up, bro?
What's up, homie?
What's good with you?
What's good with you? Hey, listen, yeah, I'm putting Stoney Jackson on the field.
Yeah,
man. Bobby Wagner. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm living. You know, man, get your whole entire ass out of here.
Yeah.
What's up, homie? And listen, man. And listen, I need to know one thing on the low. And are we still drinking Tito's or not? I just need to know.
Man, I got the crown. I got the crown right now. And when I get to the new crib, I'm gonna crack the crown on Monday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, do me a favor. Hey, just send what we drinking. All right, salutes and salutations, and you know it'll be in the cash app. You know how we get it.
My guy.
You know how we get that. Man, yeah. Hey man, loving the show, loving everything. Like Reek said, y'all do need to do an outro round table. Okay,
we do.
Outro round table.
We do.
And everything y'all saying, everything everybody is saying in the chat, man. 9.5 for Bobby Wagner for 2 years because then you can get the amoeba. Now this is a basketball reference, and if you're about, and I'm definitely gonna age myself. You don't never tell your age. I don't care about telling mine because I'm still cold in these streets. But hey man, the amoeba, it'll be the amoeba defense. Anybody understand the UNLV running Rebels with Stacey Augman, Larry Johnson, Moses Scurry? You know what I'm saying? Those cats. That's one of the most deadliest defenses in college basketball. One of my favorite teams. Greg Anthony. You know. They could morph into anything, and it wasn't anything that you could do to kind of stop it. If they want to play man-to-man, they could do it. They want to play zone, they could play it. 3-2, they could play it. Get into your basketball reference, dribbling with a purpose. But if you get Wagner, you can put Clark beside him. You can run a 3-4. Just imagine a replacement, Harkins, or a replacement for Harkins, Gregory and either Armstrong or Big Sam or Billy D. Sam Williams.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then run your four on the outside with Micah, Dorrance, or replacement or another guy, and like I said, you can run a 3-4, and then that gives you the ability to be just so, you can never know what's coming at you. Our problem right now is that if Micah's on the right side, he's rushing. But nobody says Micah to drop and run with nobody. You don't like it. We don't like it all the time, but it's always nice to have that ability for him to turn and run because he can do that. He can definitely do that, man.
So I think Dan runs a multiple defense. I don't know that it's 4-3, 3-4, 5-2. I think he mixes it up. So I think you do see some of that Micah stand up, Sam stand up type. Now he's not always dropping back. And y'all know how I feel. If it's third down, I'm not dropping him back.
Oh yeah. Third down, he's coming. Yeah, he's coming. But on a second and 9, you want to leave the running back out in the flats. Yeah, Micah cuts underneath, catches that pick six, and then he can definitely be defensive player of the year. I'm thinking long term.
Yeah,
player of the year.
But that's why I wanted him to be at linebacker because you can do those things. Right. Like if you put him at the point where you didn't have one of them ones in the middle, I'm like, well, let's put Micah there sometime so you can do those games, play those games, use his athleticism in the middle of the field a little bit more. But if you get Bobby, that allows you to now move Micah around. Micah don't gotta be stationary in the middle. He can be the Leo. He can play Will. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can do some drop back. He can do all types of things. And Bobby was just solidify the middle of that field.
Okay, that's cool. And listen, always, because you're never trying to miss shows, but it is what it is sometimes. I love how y'all put Stargaze on trial the other day. You know, she did a great job with you guys. She stood her ground, man. And I know you've heard that before. But here's my question about letting Tyron go, because I know you're adamant about letting Tyron go. Here's my question: knowing that Steele's not going to be back until, because we're not going to play this game with the ACL. He's not going to be back till November. Let's say he's not back till November because he got hurt in November, right? Let's say we give him a full year,
like
right?
that.
My question is, the guy I want is DeJuan Jones, if that's his last name, the other tackle at Ohio State who hasn't run yet that nobody's really looked at.
They call him Thanos.
Right? There we go. So if we get Thanos, plug him on the left side, right? The question has got to go back is, what do we do on the right? Because I think you're gonna stand on the table and jumping down for Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan, if you get him, he's not a swing. He's gonna be a starting guy, but your starting guy's got a bad ACL. And I know that's probably for a whole nother show, whole nother time. So I just gave some content on that.
I mean, no,
your swing guy?
We're gonna talk about.
You're gonna get it today.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Taylor here in a second. So you said a whole lot there. Me personally, I don't think Terrence Steele is going to take till November. I watched Michael Gallup return, in week 3 of September, and he didn't get surgery till February, and that was from a receiver. I personally think that Terrence Steele, I think he'll be ready at the beginning of the year. Now, will he be back? Again, it's a tackle, so you're not really asking him to do the same things you're asking a receiver to do. So at the very worst, maybe he comes back week 3 again, right? So now you're just trying to get by for a couple of weeks. I don't think you're talking about a dude that's going to miss 10 games. Like I don't see that happening. But let's play the game though. Okay, Terrence Steele's not ready till week 10 of the season. You said they go get the cat from Ohio State.
Oh yeah, that's who I want in the first round all day long, because what they show me they can do, they might not get that time. They might not get to go get the Gonzalez kid out of Oregon or Joey Porter out of Penn State, but they have the ability. Go ahead.
Right. So, but I'm saying that's what you said though, right? You said you said they draft that kid from Ohio State. Yeah. So I'm guessing you mean they're going to plug Tyler at left guard, and you're saying you're advocating for keeping Tyron at right tackle. Is that
if I can't, listen, I already know 6 games. I already know 6, 7. I need a swing. I need a swing tackle. So my question is, I know you're going to do it later because you always do a great job at who is on the street level swing tackle that he can come and play the first 10 weeks. So be it. And I can run with that because I still need to go get a tackle and a guard.
We could do a free agency primer on swing tackles. So are you reducing Tyron's salary? Are you bringing him back or at full salary? Because I would love to use his money to go get better elsewhere, but I don't trust him, bro. I just don't trust him.
No. Because he's at $9 million, and that's a lot for a swing. Especially, but the thing about it is I can't trust. I don't think I can trust him in 10 weeks. I think I can trust him on the right side for 5-6 weeks, but I can't pay him $9 million. So you're right. I don't want to bring him back, but if I can't find a better one on the street, God dang it, I need him at right for at least 6 weeks till Terrence is ready to come back and go full tilt. Because Terrence is my answer at right tackle. I'm just always trying to question the swing. That's my biggest thing.
I would just go get one.
I understand what you're saying.
I would just go get one.
I got it.
I'm completely out and over the Tyron thing because I can't trust him.
Don't.
He's played in 17 of the last 50 games, I think.
That's, I know, man. That 211 and 6, that 211 and 4 you hit me with the other day.
211 and 4.
God dang, man. Shoot. I was trying to add on the 2 playoff games, but I couldn't because You was gonna blow that out the water. Man, you right.
Hell, you can throw it on if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
probably.
2-11-6. I mean, it's still not great.
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen, man, I'm gonna get out your head, get out your way. Hey, man, check your Twitter message box. Shoot me that information, and we'll talk offline after you get. I'll hit you offline while you're on your vacation. Enjoy yourself, man. You are exceptional at what you do, brother.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Frankly Football. Set it off, Chris and B. Fantastic conversation, man. I'm just, and maybe I don't think I'm in a minority here. Maybe I'm being too harsh on a guy that I was like, let's ride the tiring wheels till they fall off, but they've fallen off, right? That was always my stance for the last 3 years. Like, we just gonna keep riding this till the wheels fall off. They've fallen off. Now it's just time to move forward. And I mean, segue Jones, because obviously the topic today, the main topic is Bobby Wagner, but there were a couple other veterans that were released specifically by the same team that I kind of want to talk about. And one of those guys that Chris brought up was Taylor Lewan. Now, another recently hurt guy, missed 15 games in 2022, also had an injury a couple years ago. So he's kind of trending towards that hurt guy status. Now, we're going to have a conversation about these guys. I'm not saying the Cowboys got to go call them and sign them, but I do think these are interesting options. Taylor Lewan, former first-round pick, former Pro Bowler, like I said, a veteran guy. The Cowboys shown they're not afraid to go sign an old veteran, and he signed a dude that's 10 years older than Taylor Lewan. Prior to the injury things, was a stalwart for the Titans over on that left side. I don't really know how I feel about Taylor Lewan, because what are we doing with Tyler? And is Taylor Lewan a guy you're signing for multiple seasons? It feels confusing. So I need y'all to help me out here on Taylor Lewan. I don't think I'm leaning towards a yes for Taylor Lewan. And it's not because I don't like the thought, right? Like, if you say, well, what about I just get you Taylor Lewan for one season on the left side, he misses no games, boom, let's work. Yeah, you probably could sell me, but it's never that simple, right? You got to add the context. Well, you got Tyler Smith. What are you doing with Tyler Smith? Is he your future left tackle? Taylor Lewan's not your future left tackle. So are you going to keep popping him inside, outside, inside, outside? Or do you move Taylor Lewan to right tackle? Chris just talked about what to do at right tackle. But if you put him at right, when Steele gets back, Steele's your guy. So it's not a cut and dry situation for Taylor Lewan. So at this moment, I wouldn't be. It's tough because you're talking about a guy that's a solid guy. I don't know that I'm for signing a Taylor Lewan, because I need to know what the situation is with Tyler. I think the only way I'm comfortable moving Tyler inside is if I draft a future left tackle or I sign a left tackle for the future. And I don't see Taylor Lewan being the future, if that makes sense. And yes, he's been recently a hurt guy. On Taylor Lewan, let's see what y'all saying about Taylor Lewan. Hurt guy, no for Taylor Lewan. Tyron Smith, wheels are still rolling. Yeah, rolling into the streets. 11, 2, and 4. If you don't know what those numbers mean, just go look up Tyron Smith. 11, 2, and 4. Those wheels are gone, bruh. So, yeah, Taylor Lewan, I would need to be sold on, man. Somebody would have to sell me on bringing Taylor Lewan on this team. But the other dude, Robert Woods, was let go by Tennessee, and boy, he is excited. I mean, any receiver should be excited to be let go by Tennessee. Don't get this twisted here. This isn't we're cutting Robert Woods because he wasn't good. No. Robert Woods got released by the Titans, and he put, "Finally, I'm free." And if you are familiar with anything about the Titans last year, they had a quarterback who quite literally couldn't throw the ball. Ryan Tannehill went down. They inserted the young kid, and all the receiver numbers went to shit. With that said, he had 500 plus yards, 2 touchdowns last year. And before he got hurt in the Super Bowl season with the Rams, he was their leading wide receiver. In fact, it would have got even crazier for him because they brought in Odell Beckham, and I think that would have opened things up for him a little bit more. But almost kind of great foresight here by the Rams. He got hurt, I think, in practice the same week they signed Beckham, and then Beckham helped lead them to the Super Bowl. So Robert Woods still got some juice. And the Robert Woods signing to me would feel, once again, kind of similar to a T.Y. situation. Not a guy that I'm leaning on to be my wide receiver 2, although T.Y. probably should have been the wide receiver 2 last year because my God, good. But a guy that could be a really solid wide receiver 3 guy, a veteran in that room, can help the CeeDee Lambs of the world, the Gallups, the Tolberts, to whomever, can compete with these young guys. A guy, if he loses out to him, you're not tripping that Robert Woods lost out to a Tolbert. That means Tolbert won it. Meritocracy, right? And he doesn't stop you from drafting a dude. He knows where to be on the field. I just think he's a quality option that if he goes to a team with a veteran quarterback, he could be an asset. Doesn't mean you break the bank or anything like that, but I do think that the Cowboys cannot go into this draft not adding to the position in free agency or the trade market. Does that mean D-Hop? Sure, if you want to go big. But I think the bare minimum, and let me know if y'all agree with this, I think the bare minimum at wide receiver for the Cowboys heading into the draft should be a Robert Woods. Well, what do you mean? Meaning the James Washingtons, I don't even know who else they brought in, the Antonio Callaways, those types, those shouldn't be the bare minimum. You just witnessed what losing a quality wide receiver and relying on guys that had extreme question marks. You would just witness what that looked like. So at the very least, I think you should be bringing in dudes that you can rely on to be assets. So bare minimum to me, it don't have to be Robert Woods, but Robert Woods should be the bare minimum of a wide receiver they bring in there. Meaning Brandon Cooks, then, Jerry Jeudy, D-Hop, Keenan out. Like, yeah, that it should be going up from there, not down. Not down. And we showed some of those Mac Hollins and, you know what I'm saying? We showed some of those dudes. That's going below Robert Woods. Robert Woods is the bare minimum. Couple super chats came through while we were talking here.
Super chat.
Weibo drop one. Appreciate you. Said, would you rather have Payne or Wagner? You most likely can only get one, Sky. Man, that's a good one. Payne is obviously the more longer term option, and he helps the interior. And I'm big on trenches. Oh man, I like the Payne situation. I like the Payne situation. Wagner might actually be cheaper though. Not actually, he will be cheaper. Damn, that's a good one. That's a good one. You won't find me complaining about either or. Probably lean towards Payne because I'm a trench guy. Good question though. Blue Star Gang drop one.
Super chat.
Appreciate the $20 donation. Said if you could trade back to 29 with the Saints and pick up Michael Thomas, would you do it? Yo, appreciate you, Blue Star. So you're saying trade? You're saying trade? I still keep my my first round pick and get Michael Thomas? Yes. I mean, I don't know what the money's involved in all that situation, but I keep my first round pick. I doubt they'll do it, but just going off of what you said, absolutely, I would trade back 3 spots to get Michael Thomas and Les Boogie. So Robert Woods, though, is my assessment on the situation. Y'all feel me? Like, I'm not saying got to get Woods, but I do think he'd be a solid veteran option. But I think he should be the bare minimum heading into the free agency, into the draft. I'm sorry. Yeah, I figured, Rolo, there was something to that Michael Thomas thing. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. My guy, Mel. What's good, bro?
My guy, what up?
What up, though?
Man, Taylor Lewan, that'll be a hard no. That's another hurt guy. And I honestly feel like you're only signing him if you're moving Tyler inside. Like you're not signing him to be a swing.
Right.
You're not signing him to play on the right. You're only signing him to start on the left. I'd much rather continue to ride the development of Tyler rather than sign a hurt guy. I think the easier thing to do and the more cost-effective thing to do would probably be to just find yourself a true guard. Just find yourself a guard that you really want to roll with for the foreseeable future, rather than go older hurt guy route.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, if unless you're drafting a future left tackle, that's the only way I'm moving him in. And the other option was unless you're signing one of those Orlando Browns at left tackle, then you move him in. Other than that, you're probably leaning towards keeping him out at left tackle and drafting a guard, or signing a guard. But I think the Lewan situation would make things entirely too muddy because I don't look at him as a future, and he's become a hurt guy, and that would just make that left side uncertain. You got a chance to solidify the left and the right side, if we're being honest, right? You got a chance to get a young duo on the left side and have a stalwart at right tackle, and then you just ride with Zach Martin until he's ready to retire. So you got a chance to really solidify your line moving forward.
Yeah. And Tyron, that car's sitting on bricks. Them wheels is off, bro.
They stole the catalytic converter.
Yeah, somebody that stole it all out. Like that. Man, and the funny thing is, I don't think you can even ask him to restructure because restructure for what?
Oh, I'm not restructuring.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they. I think somebody had brought up. I think it was Avacha actually. Do you rip it up like they did with D Law? That was the thing. I said, and my question, my thing was, all right, are we talking about a 1 year, up to $5 million deal with a whole bunch of protections into it? Then maybe you could talk me into that, right? Like he can make up to $5 million if he plays 14 games, but at the end of the day, it's like a $2 million deal. I mean, there's just no need to keep him at the current price, in my opinion.
And to be honest, somebody else is gonna pay him more. Like as crazy as that sounds to us, because we know, but someone else is still viewing him as, what is he, 31?
Woo!
Yeah, someone else is going to pay him starting left tackle,
Boy.
not 25-year-old starting left tackle money, but someone's going to pay him starting left tackle money.
Hey,
he will not be playing for $2 million next year.
Oh, $2 million. If he gets starting left tackle money, his agent needs to go into the Hall of Fame. There's no way you walking into my building and selling me on a dude that's played 2, 11, 4, and has missed at least 3 games 6 years in a row. Messed up. He tore his whole hamstring off his body in practice. Yeah, okay. You ain't coming to you're not swindling me.
Somebody gonna pay him, man. I'm telling you, somebody gonna pay him.
Hey, Big Sarge. Big Sarge said
that don't know what they're doing.
Big Sarge said my up to $5 million is disrespectful. Hey, fam, it's just gonna have to be disrespectful then. I mean, there's just not a way. There's no way in hell. Look, I don't even want to bring him back. But if you're talking about ripping the contract up and saying, okay, what's an amount that you'd be comfortable with? It'd be a super incentivized contract of up to $5 million. You don't want it, you can walk, bro. It's not like I'm going to be missing you. You barely play.
No, he could go. He could go. Now on to B-Wag.
With all due respect, I'm just trying to make sure I build this team correctly. That's all.
I think that's what we all want. Now, with B-Wag, I still think your first priority on defense is signing Donovan Wilson. That's still your first priority. Like, before you do anything outside the building, me personally, I want to see him brought in. I got to see him brought back. That's top priority. Now, here's a question for you, though, Sky. I kind of figure I know what your answer is going to be, but I just want to know for sure.
The conference has been locked.
If Bobby's number and Leighton's number are relatively close, but you can have Leighton for 4 more years, but you're probably getting Bobby for 1 for sure, and then an option for that second year. What are you doing? I know
Stop me.
But I just want to know for sure.
Stop me if you heard this before. If LVE's agent gets anything close to Bobby Wagner's contract, put that man in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so now I'll make it more difficult for you.
You can't. There's nothing you can do, bro, that can make a conversation about LVE and Bobby Wagner difficult for me.
Okay, I figured that was your answer. I just wanted to know for sure. But let's say it's half. If LVE's number is half, and you get him for 4 years, that would make him 28 at the end of the contract, or 29 at the end of the contract.
Who LVE gets a 4-year deal?
Yeah. If you get LVE for 4, or you're just getting Bobby for 2, but you're getting LVE for half. And you can still go out and do some more things with that money.
I mean, try to be respectful here, man, because people be getting in there. Not you, but these other people. There's not a world where I'm signing LVE to a 4-year deal, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I would much rather Bobby Wagner. You said at 2 years and his deal was half more than whatever LVE gets.
Yeah, double. Yeah, if you double LVE yearly.
Yeah.
But you only get him for, what is he? I think he's 32 now, right?
32, yeah. My whole thought process is I'm looking at Bobby Wagner as a 2-year type of situation anyway. So, yes, I mean, you would almost have to say Bobby Wagner 2 years at the top of the market for me to kind of now have to start walking away a bit, because then that'll affect, according to
Here comes the money.
that'll affect other things. But yeah, there's almost not a single situation where I'm taking LVE over a Bobby Wagner deal. I mean, hell, there might be a situation where you bring them both back, but yeah, man, I can't do it. Won't do it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, bro. Like I'm rolling with the better player. Oh, to me, it's not my money, so I don't give a damn.
Right. Yeah.
it ain't like it's coming out of my pocket. But yeah, man, I'm definitely rolling with the better player. And even at a shorter period of time, because honestly, you still, you're probably in the middle of Dak's prime, I would say. Or maybe even at the beginning of it. I know some people will disagree with me with that, but I really feel like a lot of QBs.
I mean, every player has a prime.
Not name Mahomes or they, huh?
I mean, every player has a prime, but some people would take that statement and yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, man, really, really get good in their early 30s. So I would really like to see them make some moves that would take advantage of that time, man. So go load up, man. And then my last one, peace to old girl Star. I don't know her last name, but she did hold her ground. She's crazy, but she made it make sense to her, which I do give her credit for. She didn't just say it as like a clicky thing. It really made, and if you never watched Zeke play over the last 3 years, you might even agree with her. But nah, man, that boy got it. That boy gotta go. That boy gotta go. Get him gone, man. Get him gone. But
yeah, that was.
Thanks for letting me call in. Oh,
that was interesting. She's a lawyer, so I know. Yeah. That I couldn't let her off the hook. I needed an explanation on why you was trying to trade one of the best linemen in the world and bring back a declining Ezekiel Elliott. I just that'll never sit right with me. And that's fine. That's her opinion. You know what I mean? But we gonna talk about it. You know me.
Yeah. Oh no, you ain't backing down. But what I do respect about her, she didn't back down. She didn't change her opinion. She made it make sense to her. It was crazy as cat shit. But I mean, she made it make sense, man. She made it make sense.
And she pivoted a little bit too. She pivoted. She when we talked, she was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think we should really trade Zach Martin. We probably should trade him till he's like 37. That's pretty much what she said.
Yeah, like Zach Martin would have to really, really fall off the cliff.
Oh, dude, yeah.
For me to be like, oh yeah, it's time to move on. Like he's still, in my opinion,
oh no,
he's the best right guard in football.
Koye made a not guilty video for a running back. Oh gosh, I gotta watch this.
Yeah, Koye smoking that top pack too. He's smoking that top pack too, man.
What are we doing,
I
man?
love Koye. He's smoking that top
me and
pack.
Koye already had our debate on air on that one. So y'all can go back and run that one back. Yeah.
Y'all gotta check that. Y'all gotta check that one out and Koye made it make sense to him too. He was talking about the injuries and I just be like, dog, y'all. This is the thing, and I'm not gonna go in on Zeke no more. I will say, back in the day, I did choose LVE over Zeke, and I got cooked. But now y'all probably might be on my side. All
Okoye's videos is good, man. I ain't worried about Okoye's video not being good. Okoye he know how to put together an argument, But this is one that he can't win. Can't win.
Oh no! Somebody said Okoye. I didn't say Okoye video wasn't good.
No. Somebody in the chat said it was good though. Man, all Okoye's videos is good. Okoye can break.
Are great.
Okoye can break down. Okoye can break down. He can break down grass growing, and it'll be phenomenal. Dude's a master.
Yeah, man. The thing the video don't tell you, man. Zeke partied and smoked and video gamed his way to what he is right now, bro. I know. I'm not attacking him personally, but as a player, there are ways to take care of your body and prolong your career and prolong your peak. I'm gonna just be honest. That never seemed like it was in Zeke's plan. It never seemed like that was part of what his program was gonna be.
Mark said, "Stop the hate."
Yeah. Okay. He went to Cabo to rehab, bro. Like you went to Cabo to rehab, man. Stop playing with me, bro. I'm too old to believe that's what your plan was. Stop playing with me. I don't want to say like no sympathy for him, but he got paid. He got his money. It's over now. It's over. He washed up as washed up can be. It's over. Sorry, Zeke fans. I'm sorry. Your boy's gone. It's over. It's a wrap. Wrap it up. Get him out of here. It's over. But anyway, Scott, I'm going to go, man.
That's just where it's at with me. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. We'll have this conversation a little bit, just a little bit, because we're going to get off track here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Please and blessings.
Salute. It's a running back. This ain't Adrian Peterson, at the end of his Minnesota career where he was, his early 30s and still was an absolute problem. This is a running back that is clearly, even the biggest Zeke fan can admit to this, it's clearly lost steps. Average depth of touchdown is like 3 yards. So now he's not just a running back, he's a goal line short yardage back. He had some solid games this year. Yeah, the offensive line, which this is funny. A lot of people keep bringing up the offensive line. The same offensive line that Tony Pollard was running in, by the way. But neither here nor there. And obviously the offensive line matters. And this is why when there was a point in time when people were like, well, this offense goes through Ezekiel Elliott. And there were people, very small minority, saying, no, it goes through the line. Zeke's a running back. He's a running back. And he's not one of them ones anymore. You know? Now, if you're a fan, you're like, man, that's my guy. Cool. But why are we acting like this is a franchise quarterback? We watched 2 teams in the Super Bowl get to the Super Bowl with running backs that aren't top 4 guys. Or you don't need to pay all that money. Again, I don't want to mess the show up. Y'all know how I feel about this, man. I appreciate what he did. He's a running back, man. If y'all scared to let go of Ezekiel Elliott at that position, we just gonna be stuck in this cycle with Dallas players. Yeah, man. He called Zeke the new Mike Allstott. Come on, man. Y'all deep. 1.5 yards after contact. That means he's just falling forward, Professor O. Professor O, you can give all the numbers to these people. They're not going to care about the numbers, which is why I stopped talking about them. I said, we're not even gonna do the numbers anymore because y'all don't care. Just watch them. Just watch them and tell me. There ain't about 15 running backs you've watched this year that you be like, they can do better than that. Or have done better than that. A bunch of rookies, man. What's the dude from Minnesota or from Michigan State that went to Seattle? You mean to tell me you wouldn't rather have him than Ezekiel Elliott? The cat in New York, you wouldn't rather have him than Ezekiel Elliott? Whatever. 817, what it is, what it do?
Yo, is that me?
Yes, sir. You live.
This is Daryl from Fort Worth, not Dallas.
Hey, Daryl from Fort Worth, but I'm a shit on Dallas. What's good?
I didn't go that far, but I will fight him.
What up, though?
I'm listening to your topic this morning. So, yeah, I think Bobby Wagner, obviously, that's a good opportunity because, that gives us. I think Micah is best in 2 positions: the Sean Lee position from the backside, and defensive end, obvious passing situations. Now he could play defensive end every down, but his body ain't for that. He's like, man, y'all killing me running 300 pounders.
Facts. He said that. He was like, look, dog, hey Dan, bro, you better put me back at the second level.
He's like, man, I love you, but this is right here. I ain't gonna be able to do it. So I think that would be great. Obviously, I think that's a kind of easy thing. But I wonder, what did we pay LVE this year?
About $3 million, I think. I think it was $3 million, or 1 year, $3 million deal.
Yeah. So the Bobby Wagner thing, I'd do some kind of like 5-year deal with 2 or 3 voidable years on the back end, kind of deal, to help him work with the cap.
For Bobby.
Yeah.
That's possible because here's a thing that I don't want to say I learned, but I would love to go look at the cap ramifications of what just happened. Apparently, they signed that 5-year deal with Bobby Wagner. Might have been 6 years or something like that, but obviously it was a bunch of funny money. It was really a 2-year. Right. It was a 2-year deal. So the fact that they agreed to mutually part, I wonder if in that clause we agree to mutually part, we suffer no dead money, et cetera, or very minimal dead money. So you can always make the contract dance for you. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, and that, because some of that is ego, from the player's standpoint. So if it look good and it, it goes out to the media, well, okay, I can rock with that. All right. But one of the things about the Cowboys that drives me crazy over and over is it takes them forever to fix the doggone problem. It's an obvious problem, and it just takes forever. And I can't get over. I can't remember his name. The left guard. We got a left guard problem. How long we had a left guard problem? Ever since the guy went to Denver. What's his name? There was our left guard.
I almost said Joe Looney. I'm having a brain fart my damn self. Ron Leary.
How long ago was that?
2017, I think, is when we replaced him full time with Collins. Well, not with Collins. I'm sorry. Collins went to right tackle. Collins replaced him in 2016.
We're going through two Connors.
So 2016. So Connor came in 2017. My bad. Yeah, Collins went to right tackle. Connor went to left guard 2017. So it's been since 2016 that they had Ron Leary.
So that's what I mean. We just and it's like doing this thing. Oh, let's get somebody in there and fix the problem. You know, spend a good draft choice and
Shaq
fix
Mason,
the problem.
Baby.
I know. Well,
Go
hey,
Shaq Mason.
And then we're done with that problem. Let's go to another problem. Let's quit trying to, dilly-dally with these issues that we know are issues. Like right now, we got the wide receiver issue, right? And we're going to play around with that Odell Beckham, da-da. By the way, what's the T.Y. Hilton situation?
That's a good question because we talked about Robert Woods being the bare minimum. I think T.Y., let's throw him in there too, right? Like the T.Y. and Woods of the world should be the bare minimum of who they bring in. I would actually talk to T.Y., see if he wanted to return.
Yeah, because now you can get him for a whole year as opposed to partial. He wasn't 100% ready to go.
Right, but I wouldn't be trying to lean on him, though. It would be more so, again, I don't want to go into this draft or season with the same situation the Cowboys had at wide receiver. I'm going to need me about 5 bodies that are capable, and then to make the best man win. Break the pool stick like they did in Dark Knight, throw it at them and say, y'all fight it out. But what I'm not going to do is have Dennis Houston, Simi Fehoko, and the Jalen Toberts and James Washington fight out for wide receiver 2. No. I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a bare minimum of T.Y. Woods, and we're going to be improved once we go up that depth chart.
Yeah, I'm down with it, because I'm still got withdrawal pains from them giving away Coop. So
yeah.
I definitely, and I wanted last year, I didn't know we could, I really wanted us to go up in the draft in the second round and get my boy that went to from Georgia that went to Pittsburgh. That's who I really wanted.
Yeah,
in the second round.
Hey, Daryl, appreciate the
call. But I know we'd have to go up to get him.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk about that probably more once I return from the break. But appreciate the call, Daryl.
All right, man. I have it. Peace.
Salute. Foot's in the building. What's good, OG? Young OG. Super chat here.
Super chat.
From Dro and Toxic. Toxic job one. Sky never wanted Zeke. Team Ramsey, BPA. A lot of people wanted Ramsey over Zeke for this reason. Dro said,
super chat.
The people that wanted to keep Zeke play too much franchise mode on Madden. Why my camera do that? On Madden and not enough time watching real football. I don't know go that far, but hey Zeke kids, riddle me this. Where does Ezekiel Elliott rank among NFL running backs? This is definitely taking a turn, but let's play a game real quick. Zeke or that? Let's play a game. Zeke or that? I'm going to start low. Low. A.J. Dillon. Zeke or that? This is probably gonna get a lot of engagement in here. I didn't watch Okoye's video yet. I know he killed it because that's what he does. But let's play. A.J. Dillon, Zeke or that? Okay. Man, easy one here. Jonathan Taylor, Zeke or that? Jonathan Taylor, Zeke or that? Easy, right? Okay, let's make it a little bit tougher. Tony Pollard, Zeke or that? Tony Pollard. Austin Eckler, Zeke or that? So some people picking Zeke over TP. that's the fight we've been having in Dallas anyway. Austin Eckler. Eckler or Zeke? Let's keep it going. Young Buck. Brian Robinson Jr., Washington running back. Got shot in the leg, but had a fantastic season when he returned. Brian Robinson Jr. Zeke. No. We're not doing stats. This is you. I would imagine you guys had to watch these dudes. This is just about watching them. That's why I don't want to do stats, because a lot of these dudes' stats are better aside from the 3-yard touchdowns that Zeke was getting. But I'm talking about just watching these dudes and who would you rather have moving forward. So I want to make it easy. You're throwing stats, people are gonna start look, I got the where the joint at. You know, I could put this up here. That ain't gonna help you. 3.2 yards per carry over the last half of the year, under 4 yards per carry, 2.3 in the playoffs. He had 11 games where he had under 3 yards per carry, 11 games under 4 yards per carry, 3 games under 3 yards, or 6 games under 3 yards per carry. I can throw the stats. You ain't gonna like the stats. So let's just forget the stats. Let's just talk about who would you rather have? That's all. Who would you rather have? Now, where we leave off at? Here. Brian Robinson Jr. Oh, we're going to take our time with this one. Joe Mixon. Ezekiel Elliott. Because there seems to be this thought process, well, we can't move on from Zeke because who are we going? We're about to talk about a whole bunch of running backs that you can obviously get. Joe Mixon or Zeke? Let's keep going. Aaron Jones or Zeke? Aaron Jones or Zeke? Professor O, Zeke in his last 4 playoff games. Nobody want to talk about that, huh? Last 4 playoff games dating back to 2019, 2.38 yards per carry, 40% catch rate. Damn. Damian Pierce or Zeke? Damian Pierce is a hammer. Damian Pierce, by the way, drafted in the 4th round. Damian Pierce or Zeke? All right. Now this gets a little interesting here because I ain't even gonna bring him up because he might not be in football no more, so we ain't gonna bring him up. Kenneth Walker or Zeke? Kenneth Walker or Zeke? Pierce is a beast, and Pierce was your guy, Foots. Kenneth Walker. Christian McCaffrey or Zeke? I think y'all get the picture, but nope. I'm going to hammer this home. Okay. Good one. Here's a good one. Because these two are the guys that are comparable in regards to the type of years that they've had. Jamal Williams or Zeke? Jamal Williams or Zeke? I feel like this is you could argue Zeke because they play similar roles, or you could say, well, Jamal Williams is younger, less carries on his body, et cetera, et cetera. Jamal Williams or Zeke? Here we go, another comparable one because of the pay. Dalvin Cook or Zeke? Yeah, I feel you, Mark. I mean, Mark Smith said CMC over everybody. Right, but this is just to show, right, that why are we holding him to this on this pedestal as if there isn't a litany of dudes in this league that could do what he does or do it better at this point in his career, but let's keep it going. Dalvin Cook or Zeke? Najee Harris or Zeke? Najee Harris or Zeke? We'll wrap it up here. Saquon Barkley or Zeke? I'm not naming King Gresh. I'm not naming running backs to get. I'm naming running backs that are either better and or guys that clearly can do these similar things, if not better things. This isn't about who I'm trying to get. We're kind of really ordering or ranking where Zeke is out here. Who would you rather have? If you were starting your team or if you wanted a back, who would you rather have out of these guys right now moving forward? Nick Chubb or Zeke? We're not going to play around with that. Josh Jacob or Zeke? Derrick Henry or Zeke? These are easy ones. Easy ones. I didn't even do guys like a Kareem Hunt or Zeke moving forward. I didn't even bring up those type of names. I ain't bring up Breece Hall. He got hurt. So do you get the point? And probably more than half of these dudes that I named were drafted on day 2 or 3 of the draft. If this exercise went over your head, maybe we can do a whole entire show on this again, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to keep hammering. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to keep doing this with him. Like, thank you for your contributions, man, but we're talking about the running back position. I've watched a Kenneth Walker. I've watched a Brian Robinson. I've watched a Damian Pierce. I've watched these guys come in as rookies and be impact players at a position that you really need fresh legs, let's be honest. But for some odd reason, maybe it's because we're fans, that's our guy. It's our guy. We are ignoring all the overwhelming evidence that I don't need this when I have all of that happening around the league. You know, I ain't going to do Malik or I ain't going to do that. Yeah, the point is, let's get rid of him and replace him and go get me a bunch of these young bulls in the draft. We talking about? There's so many young backs in the draft I would much rather have and roll with. Here's the thing. Me personally, I'm about obviously making the line and the run scheme better. But what if the line and the run scheme ain't clicking, right? I need a guy that can make some things happen. Zeke ain't making nothing happen, man. And even if it is clicking, he's still not capable of giving you, in my opinion, the max output of a Tony Pollard, of an Austin Eckler, of a Kenneth Walker, of these guys that have more pop to them, that are more explosive to them, got fresher legs, can do things out the backfield. He's not that dude. Now, you want a dude that can get you 2 yards in the 3rd and short, a dude that can go on the goal line? Yeah, cool. I can go get me that guy. I can go get me a goal line guy. But there's probably at least, and I'm only at like 5, but there's probably at least 8 running backs in the draft coming out that you can get, that you can plug in next to a TP, or if you go sign it back, whatever they decide to do. And I think they will be a better tandem moving forward than the current version of Ezekiel Elliott and Malik Davis and whoever they draft in the 4th round. I mean, that's fine. Not Mr. Moses. I'm not one of them, man. I'm not one. I didn't want to bring up Kamara, Mark, because he's not finna be in the league. I watched that video. I don't think he's going to be in the league anymore. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, Joe Mixon's in the league. And I'm going to leave it at that, man. There are people who are Zeke fans that it'll just never change, right? They won't change their mind. That's their guy. And I'm not really trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to give you my opinion on why I'm not tripping about letting some Ezekiel Elliott go. He's a running back, and I'm going to leave it at that. My bad, y'all holding on this line. I just had to do that exercise real quick. What's up?
All good, Scott. when you got to make a point across, you got to make that point across. But hey, people still don't listen. You know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna bring someone from the veterans, I think these three positions can work out. And you tell me what you think.
Hold
Sky.
up. Now, King Gresh, King, just come out here and just say I'm a huge Zeke fan and nobody can change my mind, because what you just said is asinine. There's not a better running back in the draft coming out the draft that's better than Zeke. You mean to tell me Bijan Robinson right now wouldn't come in here and be better than Ezekiel Elliott right now? Come on, King. Oh, okay. You just said I'm biased. All right, cool. He's biased. There's nothing else to be said. Go ahead, Los.
All good. Hey, that's why he won't even call in the show. He's afraid of you, Sky.
No, he ain't. King. No. King calls into the show. No. Don't say that. Don't get him calling in here and snapping out.
No, I'm kidding. No, but hey, the reason I don't think O-line, defensive tackle, and cornerback. And the reason I don't want a veteran for wide receiver is I feel that money can be implanted more on the defensive side. And we all know offensive players make that money, right, Sky? So if we do get a wide receiver, right, it better not be for a high rental price or play excellent when not hurt, because I need availability and not high potential right now, especially when we're in win now mode, right, trying to, squeeze out the window where we have it. And I would rather make that defense side more of a juggernaut or higher potential with two players rather than just one. But let me be clear on that, Sky. That doesn't mean you don't add talent around that. But I do think you can find a wide receiver out there that can develop with traits, whether that be burners or quick feet that make you look like quicksand and can break up zone coverages with their route tree. Now, if there's one player that I feel I can change my opinion, it might be Dick Hopkins. But let's keep in mind, Sky, he's 30 years old, and this was his stats last year, Sky. I'm not changing anything. 717 yards and 3 touchdowns, correct? And I'm just asking myself, if we were to bring us another stud wide receiver, would the numbers go up? Because keep in mind, we're changing this whole offensive scheme, right? Kellen Moore's gone, Jason Garrett is gone.
20 to 30% is what Dak said about changing offense. 20 to 30%.
So it's something we're gonna have to work on, and it's chemistry, knowing the concept of the breaks takes time. So if we're gonna have to bring a wide receiver, it better be early rather than later, correct? And what is the price we're going to have to give up, and how much salary would that add up? Because, and I'm going to leave you at this, Guy. When you have other important pieces you might have to think about extending, it makes a whole difference in the world.
All right, hold on, Los, because I feel like we're all over the place here. Can you compartmentalize this here? What are you saying about the position? Just give it to me straight.
So basically, I'm just saying you can get that wide receiver position elsewhere in development and get them for cheaper, rather than going all out for a veteran one-time wide receiver, especially when you got to extend guys like Diggs.
So what you're saying is you would like the Cowboys to draft a receiver as opposed to signing a Keenan Allen or DeAndre Hopkins type?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I feel like, and my last final point is, especially when you have other pieces, you have to, the Diggs, and I'm gonna leave it at this, Sky. I know I'm not thinking about the future, but damn well, Michael Parsons is going after that bag, because if you know that agent, and that agent is gonna get his money. If you don't know his clientele, you gotta look.
Here comes the money.
True, man. He's going to get his bag, because if you look at Michael Parsons' agent, there's not one contract he has failed, all right? So damn well Stephen Jones is shaking his knees right now looking for next year, and that's all I got to say, Scott, but that's my opinion.
Salute, Los. Peace. Anytime anybody ever brings up Michael Parsons' contract, dude played 2 years. I'm going to pay Michael Parsons for 3 more seasons. I'll pay Michael Parsons until after next year. If they want to, they can just wait. Talking about Michael Parsons' contract. We talking about Michael Parsons' contract in his rookie year. I thought it was crazy to me. Stephen Jones got your heads messed up. Talk about no Michael Parsons' contract. I did like what you said though, Los, about traits. I feel like Dallas doesn't do that when they draft their receivers. I feel like they don't draft a dude that has like an exceptional trait. Like Tolbert doesn't have an exceptional trait. He's kind of a well-rounded guy. Michael Gallup didn't have an exceptional trait. CeeDee Lamb failed to you. He had an exceptional trait, so I got to give him that one. But I'm just talking about from a role player standpoint, just a flat-out deep ball burner type of guy, or a route running savant, or a slot demon. There isn't like one trait they drafted that receiver position. I wouldn't be opposed to them doing that. And I know Jalen Hyatt is the name everybody talks about. And then there's me that likes JSN, right? The guy who's more of a well-rounded dude. So yeah. Hey Shaq, what up though?
Then turn right.
Where you going, bro?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, we hear Siri in the background.
Yeah. I'm at work, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
All right.
Turn right onto Crownsville Road.
I was saying, I don't know, the combine's next week, so I don't know what you're looking forward to and what positions, if you really even care about the combine at this point.
I am, because the combine is going to be during the week. I'm gonna be off and doing all this moving. But we're coming back, especially on Vacha's show, and we're gonna talk about the combine. We'll talk about it here too. So I'm gonna definitely be paying attention to it.
All right. And I just wanted to congratulate you on your moving, hoping it's an upgrade for you in your life. I want you to just, take that time to relax on your vacation and think about how far you came.
Man, I appreciate it, man. It's going to take a few days, but I'm going to definitely try to get a few days of relaxation in there. Appreciate you, dog.
All right, take care.
Salute. And then 205, what up, though?
What's happening with you, Scott?
Of course, man. This is the perfect person to end, man. Landlord from Alabama. What up?
What's happening with you, man? Hey, I think us Cowboy fans, man, we the most loyal fan base in the world, man. And it shows when we start talking critical about these players. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with me being from Alabama, being a Bama fan, man, I kind of just I got this second instinct to be able to let go real quick. And out. So it's like, hey, you gotta go. So, man, when it comes to Zeke, bro, like, the offensive line wasn't the greatest, but like I said, when I looked at the film, man, it was times where but it just didn't stay open that long. You know what I'm saying? So I was left with the conclusion, like, huh?
Breaking up a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Maybe if I had a more bursty back, he could have made that hole. Like, that just was closing very quickly. That's the thing about it. So I was kind of left with, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of debatable. Was the line not holding the holes long enough, or was Zeke not getting there quick enough? That's what you kind of ask yourself. And I think God took my chances with a more bursty back. You know what I'm saying? Because the hole won't be there super long every time, bro. You got to hit it. And if you don't have the speed to get there, you will just be getting 1.5 yards per year.
They called you landlord from outer space because you breaking up. But nah, I feel you, landlord. And that's been my whole thing over the last 2 or 3 seasons, where this run game just would hit a nosedive in the back part of the season. I would constantly be asking for the Cowboys to give Tony Pollard more touches, because it was clear as day that whether it be Zeke's injury or Zeke losing burst, whatever you want to call it, it's not there. It was clear as day that it needed to be blocked up. Y'all want to talk about things need to be perfect for Dak. It needed to be blocked up perfectly or damn near for Zeke to make a big play. Not the case for TP. TP was making so many people miss throughout his career. And if you ever needed to get out of a rut, especially last year, what did they do? It was Tony Pollard that was getting them out of a rut. They just weren't putting the ball in his hands enough. So I'm always about, okay, the offense is struggling. Your kind of matriculate down the field back is not doing enough matriculating. So let me put the ball in somebody's hand that can go and bust a big run off or something like that. And this year they finally started to give him the ball more, but I think it was a year too late. Oh. landlord? Yeah, he definitely.
Oh, you can hear me?
Oh, he back.
Man, you know I'm in Alabama in the boondocks. But I was about to say, see, the best question you can ask yourself is if you got to look at these players you're talking about extending and, signing as free agents, because that's basically who they are for real, because it's a chance for them not being on your team no more. And that helps you detach all emotions from the player. In my opinion, I say, would you be trying to acquire Ezekiel Elliott? That's how I say his name, Ezekiel. I put all that together. Ezekiel Elliott to your team. Would you be trying to acquire him? With the year you just seen, with the stats you just seen, would you be saying, Cowboys, go get that guy? That's how you detach all emotion from it.
I like
no,
that.
you would not, bro. You would not.
I like that way to look at it, bro. I thought you was going to say, would you, if you were an opposing team, would you trade for an Ezekiel Elliott type situation? But you flat out saying if you are a Cowboy, you remove the name. Or I used to say, take the name off, take the jersey off, watch the player. You can put the numbers up. Would you say, let's go sign that back for whatever, right? X amount of dollars. I like that.
Just like Saquon available right now. Would you be trying to acquire that player? Like, just act like Zeke ain't on the team no more. That's what I'm saying. Like, just act like he's just XYZ free agent with this resume. Do you want the Cowboys to pursue this guy? No. It's just a simple question. That just helps you erase all emotion, all of the attachments that you have to the player, and just be real. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world, bro. We're gonna have to move on from these players once in a while. It's just the point of it.
Perfectly said. We got to move on at some point, and I think it was Okoye who talked about how we don't hold on to players. I would say we're holding on to one. This is the one.
We do hold on to players. We hold on to players too long, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Real talk. Cause look. Now, this the last point. That I know y'all gave a girl Star a whole lot of smoke over there.
We had fun with it. Yeah.
I believe. Look, I understand what she's saying, but I say she's about a year or so early. She's just early. But look, this is what I want the Cowboy Nation to understand, though. In order to even begin talking about a trade, the player has to have some kind of value, Scott. We can't just be out here saying trade the garbage man. No, that's not what you can't think of it like that. This how you this how you should be thinking about in a trade. Now, Sky, I know you're a critical thinker, so I know you're gonna feel me on this. In a trade, you want the Cowboys to win, right? Like, we don't want a foul trade. Yeah. No, we want the Cowboys to win the trade. So in order for us to win the trade, you got to find a player that's his value is pretty high right now, right? But it's not gonna last too long. It's like you selling a lemon. You selling a lemon car. You're gonna fix it up pretty. You're gonna have the paint looking clean. You might even throw some 26s on it. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the engine only got 30 days, Sky. That's what I'm saying. You want to sell them a player that looks good, but only gonna last for a very short amount of time. That would have been the perfect person. Like, okay, the perfect person would have been like Dorrance Armstrong. He was looking great at the beginning of the year. You got to sell high. You know what I'm saying? This man had like 6-7 sacks at the beginning of the year, sir.
Yep.
Look, if you was a real film watcher and you knew what type of player Dorrance was, you knew it wasn't gonna last, bro. We had hope that it would, but we knew that he wasn't gonna last like that. He was gonna fall back down to reality. That would have been a perfect trade candidate, bro. The Cowboys don't know how to finesse. They need to go to nefarious school to learn how to finesse better. When the last time we finesse somebody, Sky?
None. We broke this down last year, landlord. If you remember when we traded who was it? We traded Cooper. It made me dive in. It made me dive in and say, I went and looked at every single last trade the Cowboys made when they traded a player. Dude, we was trading dudes like Igor Olshansky types. We was trading John Phillips, and we was trading, these type of dudes. And the return we were getting was 7th round draft picks, 6th round draft picks, other bottom barrel roster dudes. They've never ever made those type of trades. What they've done in the past is obviously acquire. They've been on the other end of those trades, right? They try to go get a Joey Galloway and then Roy Williams and then Amari Cooper, right? They've been on those sides.
Getting bamboozled.
Right, but if you
you
look at some of these other top franchises, they've made trades where I say all the time with Andy Reid. Bro, Andy Reid got a second in DRC for Kevin Kolb, bro. Kevin Kolb. The Cowboys couldn't get more than a fifth for Amari Cooper. It ain't got nothing to do with contract and money because we broke all that down. There was other players that were making more money at the time that these teams got better compensation for. The problem is your general manager sucks at his job, flat out.
We getting finesse, bro. We getting finesse. Now, look, this is the last thing I'm going to say. You know, I'm a Spurs fan, too, unfortunately. We like the worst team in the world. But you got to look at this. Look at how we finessed with I don't know if you're familiar with basketball, but we traded DeJounte Murray, I believe, earlier this year. We absolutely fleeced the Hawks, sir. We got like 3 first-round picks for DeJounte. And they ain't doing nothing. Then they unprotected. So look at how I look at it. I'm like, bro, you can finesse these people. You can bamboozle these people. Like, some people don't understand that this player looks good. You got to sell why his value is high. That's the only thing I wanted y'all to understand about what Star was saying. The player has to have some value.
No,
you know what I'm saying? The player has to have some value.
We understood it. That's what I was, because the chat was killing it. I was like, look, I get what you're saying. I get what she's saying.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a guy in Zach Martin who is still one of the top 2, 3, whatever guards, forget it, linemen in the National Football League playing at a high level. And her question to Vach the day before was, well, how do we get our offensive line back to being top 5? Because she wants it to be back to top 5. And my question to her was, well, how do you get a top 5 offensive line by trading away your best offensive lineman? And re-sign that I didn't understand where she was going. But she went back. She said, you know, I'm not trying to trade him this year. It would be more so in like 3 years. And then I'm like, well, who's trading a second-round pick for a 36-year-old, 35-year-old offensive line?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the problem you find yourself in. You have to be able to project, okay, he got decent value right now, but I don't see him doing this for the next 2 years. That's when you trade him. I think that's a prime time to trade a player. So when he just had a great year, but you don't see him doing good for the next year. But
that's the thing. I do. Like I do. There's certain players, right? There's certain all-time greats that you just ride it out. They eventually retire on top.
Leave.
I mean, the perfect example.
You might be right about that. You gotta leave him alone, bro.
The perfect example is Jason Kelce, bro. Jason Kelce is still a number 1 or 2 center in the National Football League and he's 34 or whatever. He's going to probably retire this year on top. Like, he's one of them dudes, man. I'm not saying everybody's that way, but he's one of them. Now, the player that you should have been doing that with was Tyron Smith, because you saw the decline in his health, right? And then you put on a decline in the play, but it got to a point where now he's likely untradeable. But if you was looking ahead, if you was like, say, 2019, 2020, and you was like, this is the 4th year in a row. He's missing 3 games. He's likely going to miss more. Let's see if we can get a guy. That would make more sense than trading a dude. You look at Zach Martin, you're like, and dude made All-Pro again. He's playing at a high level. Why would I trade him if I'm trying to improve my offensive line? I don't think you're going to improve by trading him because he's still one of the best of all time at this moment.
Facts. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, man. Great stuff, man. Good conversation. You going to be on later tonight or later today?
Yeah. I'm probably going to go live after a while.
Make sure y'all check out the Nefarious News over there in the Trap House.
Yes, sir. I appreciate this, guy.
All right, big dog. Peace.
All right.
Yeah, it was a fun discussion. It was a good discussion. Obviously, you know, me and Voss, we're going to have fun with it. But yeah, I'm not trading Zach Martin. Where my button at?
Motherfucker, for what?
Not doing it. All right, let's get to these super chats. Hit the chat. And we gonna get busy on this weekend. Dro the Gooner, you a goof. He said,
Super chat.
Booby Miles or Zeke.
Super chat.
Appreciate you, Dwayne. He dropped 20 and said, enjoy your time off. L, and I'm gonna get to the super chats from yesterday too. I forgot to do y'all super chat yesterday.
Super chat.
Because they was back there tripping. Okay, here's L's super chat. He said, point is, we get away from Zeke's contract and our infatuation with the player over the player's results. Any reasonable contract / real results over Zeke. I do think we have and look, we're human, man. We're fans, and that's what I'll be trying to say. Like, if you're saying I want to keep XYZ player because I'm just a huge fan of him, and it's hard for me to let go, I'm not about to judge you on that. I get it. We fans at the end of the day. We just I happen to talk about it every single damn day. So we overanalyze everything. But at the end of the day, we are fans of this team and players. But once I remove that, this just makes sense.
Super chat.
DJ Drop One said, if you get an A on one final but an F on the rest of the exam, Dallas got in the draft and failed everything else in school. This front office has been stuck in the 10th grade since the 90s. God. Damn. Yeah. One of the callers called in a few days ago and was talking about where would you rank the Cowboys when you include the draft, free agency, the trade market, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, the draft is quite literally holding them up. They draft so well, technically got to be better, but they draft so well that it does elevate them into that top half and maybe even better of the league. Probably better because the results show they are winning games in the regular season, not the playoffs. But other than that, I would put them bottom 5. Other than that, you can replace Martin. Sure, you can replace everybody. Yeah, you can replace everybody. I bring it. Every single body is technically replaceable. But I'm not trying to replace Zach Martin right now. Like Zach Martin is too good right now at, and in my opinion, a pretty great price too. But anyway, he's just too good at what we need to do, what we want to do to move on from him for what? A second round pick? That was what she was saying. Like, let's trade him right now for a second round pick and be done with it. At best, right? Second round pick. I'm all right. Me personally, I'm okay with that. Some people might actually say, hell yeah, let's do it. Pick up that phone, press the button. Let's move on from Zach Martin for a second round pick. I just think he's playing at a high level. If he was the Ezekiel Elliott's of guards, it'd be a different story. I don't it'd be a different story. I don't think he's the Ezekiel Elliott of guards. I think he's one of the best guards in the National Football League. Top 5 offensive lineman type situation. Now, yesterday, Dro the Gooner. All right, I don't think I got to this one.
Super chat.
Our edge rushers will not reach their full potential until we fix defensive tackle. Our edge rushers were pretty nice last year, but they did tail off. We need someone that can push the pocket back. I agree. We never have two things that go together. Kool-Aid, but no sugar. Ham, but no cheese. Milk, but no cereal. Facts. Peanut butter, no jelly.
Super chat.
Gotham guy says, I miss Robert Quinn. We should have re-signed him. He was a good 1-2 punch alongside Tank, and with Micah added to that. Wow. I'm good on Robert Quinn. I don't miss Robert Quinn because you have Micah Parsons, and he was a beast that year. You're right, he was a beast, but he got the super bag over in Chicago. His last 3 years been weird. Got the bag, didn't produce. The next year put up like 18 and a half sacks, and the next year put up 1. I don't necessarily miss him.
Super chat.
Solid Duck said, would it be too unrealistic to make a trade for Max Crosby? Keep it short and sweet. Yes. Unrealistic.
Super chat.
DJ's World. The Joneses be lying. Jones said I think I said this one. I did talk about this one yesterday. I did that one yesterday. What about this one? Yes. So I got to that one too from King Element. All right. We caught up. Appreciate those super chats. And I don't know why my camera keep doing that. Let's jump up in here. KHY, you talking about the Robert Quinn with 1 sack from 2022? Yeah. I ain't really missing him too much. CMC was apparently done until he got to the Niners. Shit. Who? I mean, if you want to argue about injuries, that's why I'm saying remove all that crap, man. I just watched the player, even before the injuries. Zeke wasn't doing nothing spectacular. Like, shout out to my guy Will on Twitter. Will was like, yeah, man, before Ezekiel Elliott got hurt, he was averaging 4.08 yards per carry. Huh? So now what we're doing is the LVE thing. Where we're lowering the standards. He averaged 4.08 yards per carry pre-injury is what he said. And I was like, man, we reaching here. Christian McCaffrey, from a talent standpoint, didn't lose a damn thing. Christian McCaffrey kept getting hurt in Carolina to the point where he was missing so many damn games, and it was just like, man, it just ain't worth it no more. I think Zeke is not close to the caliber of player that Christian McCaffrey is at this point. Now, if y'all want to play the game of stay healthy, who would you rather have healthy? Ezekiel Elliott or Christian McCaffrey? We can play that. I don't even think that's a debate. Give Zeke a good running scheme. Give me one of these young backs a good running scheme. I'm trying to maximize that. I give Zeke a good running scheme. I think he's going to cap out about right here. You give me one of these backs that has power but also has some fresh legs and explosiveness. I think you could look. I'm not trying to do this Malik Davis Zeke thing. I ain't trying to do it, bro. But you could clearly see the difference when Malik Davis touched the ball. If it's the scheme, it's even more of a reason you don't bring back a dude like a running back that's going to carry that type of cap hit where I could use that cap hit to go get somebody else. But again, I'm repeating myself. My apologies. I just look at this as a no-brainer. Figured it out. Sky is moving out to Hattie B. Shit. Actually, I'm not going to be too far from there, but I am moving on the other side of downtown. Yeah, Fresh. Zach got dinged up a few times over the last few years, but not nearly close to the way Tyron Smith has been. I ain't even bring up Pacheco, but bruh. Pacheco or Zeke, and that boy run angry. We want to talk about a dude that you. So I think it was King that said, "Well, we be mad if we can't convert in the red zone." Jamal Williams got paid, as my guy Vach would say, $38 and had 17 touchdowns last year in the red zone. It did sound like they was rotating my tire. Yeah, it did sound like that. Man, Uptown, I don't think I've ever been uptown, ready? I don't think I've been up there yet. Need to come through. Y'all need to let me know where to go. Who's Lewis? Oh, Jordan Lewis. All right. Good conversation here. I think we're about done. No, not you, King Element. King G. We usually call him King G. You're right, because there's a bunch of kings in the building. All y'all kings, by the way, salute. If you enjoyed today's show, this week's lineup of shows, and everything we got planned moving forward, please hit that like button. Only if you enjoyed it. I ain't going to ask y'all to hit it if you ain't enjoyed it. Only subscribe if you're new here and you like what you see. I like to say we are one of the most engaging, interactive Cowboy shows out there. Definitely Cowboys Morning Show. We're continuing to try to grow that thing. And if you are new and you see all this debating, that's because I welcome it. I welcome it. I want to hear everybody's thoughts. Sometimes your thoughts give me thoughts. So I love what I say talking it out. So if you enjoyed that, man, hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. We'll be dropping some things throughout the week. Obviously, Mo will be on next week. I will not be. I will be moving, like I told y'all, for the last week or two. And then after that, I'll come back. Studio will look a little different. Still got to figure out how we're going to do that. And then it's time, man. Put our heads down and let's roll. Let's roll. We get into this draft season. Free agency starts in a couple weeks, and it'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun time, man. Yo, so Texas T said they need to start letting us comment with gifts. I would love that. I know a lot of people don't like Twitter because of all that, but I would love if YouTube did that. Maybe that's the next step that YouTube got to do. Maybe that's the next step, man. We'll see. With that said, let me press this button. Look, it's Friday. If y'all going out today, be careful, be safe. Don't drive drunk. Call an Uber. Do all of that good stuff because I want y'all to come back here 2 weeks. Or come back. No, come back next week because Mo will be here. My bad. Come back next week. Check out Mo. Go on to AZSportsDallas.com. Again, the website's being revamped. We should have that done by March. And a lot of good things are happening, man. I appreciate y'all that called in, supporting me, and continue to support me through the chat, the super chats, the calls, everything, man. Y'all have been amazing. Y'all are amazing. And I'm going to continue to work hard and grind to try to take this thing to the next level for year 3. Season 3. It's crazy. Hit this button. I'll be wilding too. Look, King, if they allow you to use gifts, I'll be in here using gifts with y'all during the show. Trust me. I can communicate an entire thread via gifts. I don't gotta say a word. Just all gifts. All right, man. Love y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace. King G, I'll be back March 6th. March 6th.
Bomb Squad!